Hello. My name is Reverend Canon AGRIPA NDATILA, the principal of St. Philip's Theological College in Kongwa, Tanzania. The college is 112 years old, and I am the 27th principal of that college, which belongs to the Anglican Church. This is my 12th year since I have been the principal there, but I have worked also in other colleges before that. And in parish ministry, I have worked in 6 parishes in my 30-something years. And in leadership, I worked also in the office, the diocese secretary, but also ministry and mission director. So I have had this experience from the church in different areas. I'm bringing now the East African perspective, but what we look, the growth and crisis of the African church, current challenges, response, and the strength and the weakness of the region, and the way forward. As we know, in East Africa, churches has experienced the remarkable growth over the past century and becoming the heart of global Christianity. And the center of gravity shifted to the global south. And there is massive numerical growth in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And there we have a scholar like Jenkins, who is highlighting about this shift. But numerical growth does not guarantee a bright future. Something is needed. In East Africa, this growth is not just statistical. It is cultural transformation that requires deep theological grounding. Now, the challenges facing the church in East Africa. East African countries face high level of poverty affecting both members and the ministers. And this creates dependence on external funding. And this becomes a big problem when you depend on external funding. Last year, I wrote a paper about chronic financial stress in Tanzania, especially to we theological colleges, because we have 2 provincial Anglican theological colleges. And the Bible, the diocese have opened several theological colleges. So what comes, we are fighting for donors. And because the church is not good financially, they cannot sponsor students. So we are fighting for donors, and this becomes a problem. And this distorts ministry, priorities, and focus. But also demands leaders who connect theology with lively realities. Another challenge is urbanization, that in East Africa, East Africa is one of the fastest urbanizing regions in the world. There's massive migration to Nairobi, Kampala, Dar es Salaam, and now Dodoma, where I come from. Because the capital has moved there, there are a lot of people who are moving to Dodoma. But if we go to villages, because of electricity and this network, mobile networks, now the villages are changing from just being villages to become urban. There is expansion of severe informal settlements, and churches struggle to minister to urban poor. So how are they going to minister to them? There is the marginalized are often left without spiritual care. And another challenge is the leadership formation gap. Last year, my bishop, where I come from, although I am under the provincial office, he ordained 130 deacons. Unfortunately, they only had 1 month refresher course. They don't have proper training. So when they went to ministry, it is a problem because they know nothing. And sometimes even Christian members, they teach them what to do. So here, I've said that it's about 80% of them don't have proper training. So this is a big problem. And this leads to poor governance and ethical failures in the church. Another challenge is prosperity gospel and doctrinal weakness. In Tanzania, maybe in Kenya, preachers will come and will start preaching, and you will hear them saying that, pokea magari, pokea majumba, pokea mke, receive cars, receive houses, receive wives. Yeah, so prosperity gospel and a weak doctrine, it is a problem. And this leads to a shallow interpretation of scripture because it's focusing on material gain rather than spiritual depth. There's culture and religious pluralism. Christians coexist with Muslims and African traditional religion daily. Then there requires informed leaders who can bridge religious divides and peaceful. And now overcoming cultural alienation. Early missionaries led education often alienated African culture practice, creating a legacy of dualism. In some areas, believers, they are living between traditional worldviews and the Christian faith, often resulting in syncretism. We find someone is a Christian, especially when they are going to fight for political positions. They go to witch doctors. Someone is a Christian, but he's going there. And sometimes we say that someone is a Christian on Sunday, and on Monday to Saturday, he's a traditionalist. So it is a big problem. We need some changes. Leadership equipped to address societal, physical, and integrate faith with authentic African identity. Globalization, youth, is Western influence, media and theology, shaping local values. young people moving toward moral relativism, growing indifference to traditional church structures. So how theological education responds to this? Institutions are moving away from Western curricula to relevant African theology. And John Beatty here says that Christianity must engage culture. But also we have scholars like Poebe and James Combo who are emphasizing moving from Western curricula to a more relevant African theology. There is need of teaching African liberation theologies, focusing on contextual preaching, but also integrating the vital voices of women into the core of theological formation and the leadership. Holistic mission. There is expansion beyond pure doctrinal instruction to include social action, practical skills for local church leaders. At my college also we teach carpentry, building, sewing, and other skills so that the pastor, when he goes there, he may have some skills to help him or her. But also there is what we call CCMP, training, church and community mobilization process here, where we help pastors who are being trained when they go to have skills to help them. There's a need, or we have been teaching entrepreneurship, addressing economic hardship through faith, but also justice and health, because Jesus' mission included spiritual and the social transformation, as we read in Luke 4:18 to 19. The rise of urban ministries addressing informal settlements. I think my friends from Uganda, they can tell more about new models. To Kenya pastors, housing crisis, urban poverty, character competence, extension and training, there is decentralization training to reach rural leaders, strengths of the East African Church, the strong spiritual emphasis, contextual sensitivity, rapid growth as motivation. Some weakness, lack of funding, library infrastructure, faculty qualification, and the legacy of dependence, accessibility training in English limits effectiveness for those serving in deep local contexts, and formal education remains inaccessible to thousands of rural pastors. Okay, now my time is over, but I'll send my PowerPoint so that you may read more. But what we need is to have sound leaders, strengthened churches, and transform the society. Asante sana.